lovely bookish friends. How we doing today? It's Heather with Belle's Library. Welcome if you are new. Definitely subscribe so you can hear more from me. And for those of you returning, hello, and let's get into my Reading Rush TBR. So if you guys haven't heard about the Reading Rush, it is a week-long readathon. Basically, you're just trying to read as many books as you possibly can during the week, and we do have 7 prompts as well for the week to try to work on. So I'm going to be going through those prompts and what I'm thinking I might read for each of those prompts for the Reading Rush week. I'm hoping that I can read as many books as I have here on my TBR, but it is a lot of books for me for a week, so we will see. As well as I'm not really sure if I'll be working or not. At the moment I'm working a lot, so that makes it a little harder. But if I'm working less or not at all, because a lot of the restaurants are closing dine-in again in my area, then I probably will have a little more time and I'll maybe be able to get through a lot more of these. I'm also trying to make a much more conscious effort of putting a little more time into some of the school stuff I need to do to prepare for next semester for nursing school, and that is taking up a little more of my reading time at the moment. So we'll see how many of these I can get through, but we're gonna just talk through the prompts and see what we've got. Also, if you guys have not been following me on Goodreads, get down below and I have the link to my Goodreads profile, and then you guys can follow along as I'm getting through my reading journey. I update my Goodreads at least once a day with where I'm at with all my books, and I put reviews on there of every book that I read. Definitely get down there and check it out, and I hope to see you guys over there as well. So the first prompt is to read a book that has the color of your birthstone on the cover. For me, I'm an October baby, so I have 2 birthstones. I have opal and pink tourmaline. I'm going to put a picture up over here. So for these 2 colors, I was kind of struggling to figure out exactly what I wanted to do until I kind of looked up the coloring online, and the opal has some like kind of blues and greens and reflective colors in there. A little different than like kind of more of a, I guess, off-whitish color I was thinking in my mind. And the pink's a little deeper than I originally was thinking. I always thought it was more of a light pink, but it could just be up for interpretation a little bit there, or the lighting in the pictures. I don't know. But I've selected 3 books that would work for this prompt. I'm not planning to read all 3, but just depending on what mood I am in. So I was thinking The Husband's Secret would be really good because it does have kind of that opaly color around, and then we have the pink on the cover, and this one's by Leanne Moriarty. If you haven't heard about this book, it basically is the husband has a letter to give to his wife after he passes away, and it has his biggest secret in it ever, and then the wife reads the husband's letter and finds out about the secret, and that's the basic premise here. I was also thinking about Sadie, because again, it has that kind of off-white opaly color to it. And I just really want to get to this one. I know it has like a fun podcast element to it, so I'm curious about that. And I know I can get this one also on audio through my library, so that would help me get through it a little quicker. So that is a possibility. And then the other one that's a little bit off from where those ones are at is The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. This one is magical realism, and I really enjoyed A Million Junes by her. And this one just has a lot of those colors that are kind of in the opal, and then some pinks. So I thought maybe it would work in there as well. I don't know, we're kind of stretching on a lot of these, to be quite honest. But yes, those are my thoughts possibly on the first prompt. So the next prompt is read a book that starts with the word the. And I do have The Husband's Secret as part of the first prompt, so that one could work in both these places. I also really have been wanting to read some more circus books for the summer, part of my summer bucket list. I'll put that up top if you guys want to watch that video. So I was thinking The Night Circus would work really well into both of those, because I was planning on reading a circus book And this one has the as the first word. Prompt number 3 definitely gave me the most problems. I kind of struggled with this one. So it is read a book that you have seen the movie that's based on it already. And I usually don't like to watch the movie first. I like to read the book first and then watch the movie. So this was kind of a difficult one for me. I also just don't watch a lot of TV and movies and such. So I don't know. I was just getting a little stuck on this one. But then I realized I've been wanting to read some of the Percy Jackson books, and I have seen the movie, the first movie. I haven't seen, no, maybe I did see Sea of Monsters as well. So I figured that would be a really good book to throw in here. I could read either the actual novel, or there's also a graphic novel. So in spite of time for the reading rush, the graphic novel also might be a good option. And so that's what we're going to throw into prompt number 3. So prompt number 4 is read a book, or read the first book that you touch. So I figured we would do this one here on camera. I'm not going to look. I'm just going to reach behind and touch a book on my bookshelf. Hopefully it's one I haven't read. If it is one that I've read, then I'll probably just do it again until we hit one that I haven't read. And since I haven't read a good chunk of these books, I'm sure it won't be that hard. So let's see. What's this? This one right here. Alright, so I touched this one, which isn't going to work because I literally just read this one last month. So, alright, take 2. Let's do a little bit lower on the shelves here so you guys can actually see. We're going to go here. Okay, The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. This one is like a mystery thriller in which girl's on a train. She always sees this couple when she's on the train that she passes that she just thinks they look like the perfect couple. And one day when she's on the train, she sees them and she sees something she shouldn't see. And she's wondering if she should go to the cops. And then they feel like she's not very reliable and not sure that she's telling the truth. So that'll be fun. Oh, and it's the book. Alright, so let's move on to prompt number 5. This is to read a book entirely outside. Right now, I'm in California and we are having triple-digit weather every day, and it gets very, very hot. So I'll probably have to do this kind of earlier in the morning, and I imagine I'm not going to get a ton of reading time outside. So I probably will stick with the graphic novel. So I do already have the Percy Jackson one in mind, so that may work. But I also was thinking about Drama by Raina Telgemeier. This one is another one of my nieces that she really wants me to read. I read Smile last month, and this is the next one on my niece's TBR for me. So it's a graphic novel as well. So yes, my niece's TBR for me includes this book. It's a graphic novel. So we've got about an hour of reading. That's about how long the other book that I read from her took me. So that should be suffice to be outside for an hour. I think I can handle that. Prompt number 6 is to read a genre that I want to read a little bit more in that I don't usually. And for this, I actually figured graphic novels would be perfect as well. Again, something I can get through a little quicker so I can do more in the reading rush. But I also have a couple options already thrown in there. I have drama, I have the Percy Jackson one, and then I also was thinking I might do Ever After by Olivia Buwig. And this one is actually an arc I have from NetGalley that I could sit down and read through, and it is a graphic novel, and it's kind of more, I think, a horror-based graphic novel, so I'm kind of curious as to how I like that, because I haven't read a graphic novel in that kind of subgenre. So that is what I'm thinking for prompt number 6. So for this one, it is to read a book that takes place on a different continent. For this one, I think I'm just going to keep with The Night Circus. That one, from what I was reading on Goodreads, I believe does happen partially in Europe as well. Yeah, so I think the rest of the books I have kind of here are based in the US, and a lot of the books that I have at the moment are. So that one got a little tricky for me, so I'm thinking the Night Circus will most likely work for that one. And that is my Reading Rush TBR for you guys. So we've got 7 prompts, we've got 7 days. Hopefully I can get through a whole bunch of books. We will see how the week goes. And I hope you guys are going to check out the website and participate as well. Let me know what you guys will be reading. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.